Come on along and help me sing this song where the adventure grew. That's me and you, and the whole world too. The beautiful and rustic Hood Pond leads us to the Bay Circuit Trail as a couple takes advantage of this peaceful place. Around an algae-covered pool of water on this dirt road, a small tree seems to grow from the base of a larger one. The beavers are putting part of the trail underwater, so I write down the alternative route. But soon I realize I went the wrong way. And then I was along this ridge line, and I didn't see any more blazes, and I ended up here at number 86, which is not on the map as a description of where I should be. And as I backtrack, I notice that the ridge line is an esker. Formed by glaciers, these windy ridges are uniform in shape, looking something like a railway embankment. Now the trail takes us beside a country road.
You could be on Route 128 in heavy traffic, and 10 minutes later you'd be in the woods and not hear a thing.
Carol Lee Miller is the first woman to hike the entire trail, and that was in 1992. Along with her husband Charlie, Carol Lee reminisces about her adventure and also gives us an indication that improvements are being made.
It was difficult to follow back then, and we did have to come out on a lot of roads back then. There weren't as many trails. They made so many trails and got much permission from many different towns and organizations and private organizations.
Charlie loves to ride and has had many adventures out west. He even has a mule. You're beautiful. Together, the Millers have worked to clean up trails in Georgetown.
Pete Carlson from what is now DCR organized a cleanup day. And as I remember, I think there were 13 truckloads of junk, including whole truckloads of tires that had been dumped. And the state came in and put gates on both ends of it, and that cut a lot of it back.
To help us appreciate a place without the human imprint of trash, a pristine wetland greets the foot traveler. A broken plank requires some delicate footwork. The Georgetown-Raleigh State Forest has some wet areas. The long straight path takes us by a broken blaze, onto an abandoned tar road, to a bridge over 95. It's an extremely hot, humid day, and while I calculate if I'm carrying enough water, I see a sign saying Boxford is at high risk for eastern equine encephalitis. I'm on roads again, and this is where I make an amazing discovery.
The Arboretum is the last remaining vestige of Kelsey's work in the area. All of the nursery that he ran here, 550 acres, is gone. The airport he had here to bring customers in from distant cities is gone. Basically, it's gone to house lots.
Lauren Wood is the protector of this strikingly beautiful jewel. Open 24/7, the trail goes right through this paradise of trees.
If we don't save it, it'll be gone forever. Just as if we don't save our wilderness areas, once gone, they're gone forever. So there's got to be room for coexistence between the broad needs of the public and this all-important need that can't be reproduced in the future if we lose it, namely our wilderness, our open spaces, and in the case of the towns around Boston, the rural character of some of these towns.
Lauren is also the author of his first book about a man who created this very place, Harland P. Kelsey.
As a child, a 12-year-old child in 1885, he was America's youngest nurseryman with a catalog and a half-an-acre nursery.
Beautiful land of the sky. John Muir's forgotten Eastern counterpart, Harlan P. Kelsey, is an inspiring and entertaining story about a man who championed the use of native plants in American landscapes and gardens.
At the turn of the last century, 100 years ago, it was all exotics imported from Europe and elsewhere. Native plants were weeds, to be treated as such. Under Kelsey's purview, they became the dominant element of almost every American garden.
And while thinking about how natural landscapes are so environmentally friendly, I go by ATV tracks where you can see the damage motorized vehicles can do to a trail. It feels like my feet have been tracing the path of history as we go through Round Top Park, where the largest artillery camp in New England is remembered at Camp Curtis Guild. We hike by a beaver lodge and past an old cemetery, the stones weathered with age, into the historic district of Boxford Village.
I had this 46 acres on Hovey's Pond, which is a beautiful pond in West Boxford. We had been working in that area in West Boxford to protect a number of parcels.
And it wasn't easy. It took commitment, an investment of time and tenacity, a relentless perseverance.
And then as development came in, one of us would sit at the planning board meetings, lobbying for trails through the subdivisions.
Nancy Merrill has worked for many, many years, leading the charge to save land for trails and open space. Today she takes us on a tour of Hovey's Pond. Saving this place became a dramatic race against time.
When they finally got a developer to sign on with this purchase and sale agreement, that started the days ticking away. The town had 120 days to come up with the money, and another 30 days to close the deal.
This beautiful Keystone property almost became prime real estate. But generous people put their money on the line to save this jewel for the people's enjoyment.
The PTA Board wanted to raise a lot of private donations in order to help the town feel that this was a good parcel of land to protect. We raised over $500,000 in about a month's time.
And the town closed the deal with another $500,000, an astronomical feat.
This is a hemlock forest.
Through Nancy's leadership and pioneering spirit, in the days of modern red tape and legally dotting every I and crossing every T, Boxford has saved a wonderful area for the public's recreation. So as Nancy finishes our tour, I notice many of the white birch trees are dead and more are splitting.
The bark is splitting, and when it does that, it means it's too warm.
You can see here that the tree itself is actually cracked open. So with so much still to do, there is still so much to enjoy. Back on the Bay Circuit Trail, we end our day on a few roads and in a few parcels of woods sandwiched in between some new homes. The contrast, so vivid in my mind, between the needs of the people and the needs of nature. One very special visitor appeared out of nowhere, clutched to a twig, its fledgling feathers dancing in the breeze, its eyes fixed on me in one decisive moment. When I heard the plea of a young hermit thrush. Sing me a song with your sweet soothing voice. Let me know you're here with me. Keep me company. Meet you in the country, I'll meet you in the woods. We'll share our sunny days and all will be good. I know you say, what's your hurry? Why all the rush? Sing me a song, young hermit
thrush, sing me a song.